Hey, so it's 11:11 today, 11:11 portal, and I wanted to just hop on and do a quick video for you all regarding the number 11, regarding one, and just some of my thoughts and feelings and experiences around that symbolism, around the energy of today. Many of you know we have our full moon in Scorpio coming up. New moon in Scorpio coming up, which is a doozy, especially right after this portal. Because I think I stated in my last video, 1111 portal has a lot for me, with me personally, has a lot to do with pathfinding, with path working, with kind of like opening up the roads, opening up possibilities, opening yourself up to new perspectives and perceptions, and really sitting in the essence of what is, being able to clear your consciousness just enough to gain clarity and to not continue to feel a sense of false clarity within a limited vision or scope, because that tends to happen for a lot of us, because we're human still. But considering the concept of one, I'd like to start off with talking about the Magician card, and with it's 110. And considering the Magician card, it's usually about being that divine channel, that divine kind of that source, that, frequency holder. Because one symbolized beginnings. One is that first whole number to emerge from the potential and the wholeness that is zero. It is something that, when put up against the zero, cuts the world, cuts that space in half. And so it creates within itself, within its own existence, a duality. And the whole point is to be able to either be a bridge or connector to balance and be a holder of that duality, to not lean too far or create preference or concept or importance in either direction, but to be able to be an even stronger force like that in the image of something of that grand creator, that source energy, being that glue, being that connection that holds everything together. And so when we're in this 1111 portal, 1 + 1 = 2, and 2 usually has to do with challenge. It's being that connection point that is also existing within a gate or threshold. And in a way, my head kind of naturally goes to, well, then that's like 4 spaces, because there's that duality within, duality without, and then we go to 4, which is like all about stability, all about security. Is usually that square, which in astrology represents, a type of tension, a type of block, a type of force that is less favorable. So an obstacle. But when you have a connecting force standing at a threshold, there is so much potential. And so I'm just kind of on here to remind you all that wherever you feel blocked, wherever you feel there's an obstacle, that's where the most potential lies, is in that resistance, because it's cueing you that there's something that you're not offering yourself. There's something, an essence that you've walked away from and need to step back into in order to take those blinders off, in order to witness another level or access point of truth. So that's something that I wanted to bring up. And 4 also, since I was talking about the connecting point and the threshold, also represents Emperor, that ruling governing force. That can be extremely benevolent or rather destructive and toxic. And so it's like at that space, a lot of us feel the call to action, but do we do so in response to the body that we are governing, whether it be ourselves or the actual group or circumstances that we're in? Or are we creating toxicity? Are we creating poison? Is there an excess that we are reacting from, as opposed to a balance, a stability that we're able to then be guided forth from? And so this is a really important point for us to kind of recalibrate, for us to reset before we create, or as we're creating these new moon intentions. Sorry, I like to have something to type on in case I want to look anything up. But also with that, it's funny because 11 is, in the major arcana, is also the Justice card. So having to do with consequence. Are we doing ourselves justice? Checking in with our purpose, with our intentions, with our desires. Are we doing ourselves justice in the pursuit of these things? Before we cross over into that other space, you know, what is the consequence of remaining a creature of habit? What is the consequence of staying within our cycles, or recognizing them and being able to step outside of time for a moment in order to locate ourselves, so we may reorient ourselves. So there's all of that. Yeah. It's like I keep going back to centering, I keep going back to balance, and I feel like that is extremely important at this time. No one's right, no one's wrong. It's really a mixture of both. Like everyone has their hand in the same river, except they're all drinking their water in different places and out of different vessels. They're all speaking different things into it and changing the structure of, you know, what connects us all. And so just being able to recognize that and to hit that reset in order to be able to have that more universal clarity, to be able to recognize that original substance, no matter what form or structure it takes, and being able to better navigate and express your experience with that type of insight, with that type of resonance. Anyways, so that's just what I wanted to share with you all. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I'd love to work with you all more. So if you want to book a session with me, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. And if not, then just continue to be a patron. It's super cool. I dig it. And if you're not a patron, if I happen to post this to social media, consider becoming one. Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy. It is 1:16 right now, and I'm gonna go eat some lunch. Bye.